Welcome to Vikings basketball with head coach Jase Coburn. The Portland State Vikings are home. Their longest homestand of the season begins this week at Viking Pavilion. Portland State taking on the University of Montana Thursday night at 7 o'clock, then Montana State Saturday in a 4 p.m. game. And the Vikings have played 19 games this year, 13 away from home. Coach, I know you've said in the past you kind of like those road games, but you have to feel pretty good now. You've got 4 in a row in the Pavilion.
Yeah, we enjoy being on the road, but we're really excited to be home. I think you just said it. It feels like we've barely played at home this year. So we're excited to get back out here in front of our fans and be able to be in the city and sleep in our own beds and things like that. So, and actually play where we practice. So we're excited to be home and can't wait to see our crowd.
All right, and the Vikings going into the game at 11-8 on the season. Coach, you did lose a couple games last week, and obviously you want to turn things around from that, but I'll make the point that your next win, which we hope is Thursday night, would be number 12. You won 12 games all of last year, so I know you're always looking for milestones to present to your team, to motivate them, and that would be a pretty good milestone to already reach last year's win total.
Yeah, we obviously talk about the past a lot here, with previous teams and former players, so yeah, there's always things that we're trying to compete with and honor the former players and former teams from the past, getting another win would be great. We got a resilient group. We know we've dropped the last couple games, but I think a lot of times going through adversity can build character. And so, we'll come out for better on the other side of it.
All right, let's take a quick look at that. As I mentioned, you lost a couple of games last week. Team hasn't played quite as well in previous weeks. What are a few of the things that you're looking at to get your team back to playing at the level they were playing at in the first 2 months of the season?
Yeah, I think it's just a confidence level of getting back to doing what we had been doing, and doing what we've been successful at doing, and continuing on with our identity of who we are. Every team every now and then will drop some games and lose their way a little bit, but it's on us as a collective group to get through those tough times. And like I said, it makes you stronger at the end of the day.
All right, the Vikings 5-1 at home, so that's a real positive as they go into this stretch. 4 in a row at home, actually 6 of the next 8 games at home, so they're going to balance out that schedule a little bit. We'll talk about the opponents here in just a minute. Coach, I always like to mention a few players every time we do this. You're always talking about the team. I'm trying to highlight a few guys. And I'm going to talk about a couple bench guys, even though you haven't won as many games in recent weeks. A couple bench guys that have kind of stepped up their play. Number one, Isaiah Kirby. He's averaged 11 points in the last 3 games. I think he shot 65% from the field in the last 3 games. Really produced for you. And another guy, Hayden Curtis, has come off the bench. His minutes have gradually increased. 22 block shots in the last 10 games. A little bit about those guys and maybe the bench in general.
Yeah, I really enjoy coaching both of those guys. Isaiah Kirby is a phenomenal person, phenomenal player. And he's got an opportunity of late. We made some adjustments to some things, and it's really helped him. But all the credit to him for being ready to step up within the role with what the team needed at the time. Like I said, he's very enjoyable to coach, and I enjoy coaching him each and every day. And, he was ready to step into that role. Hayden Curtis, same thing. Like his minutes since we came back from the break have been kind of hit and miss. But, he's always staying ready. I can remember from 2 years ago, he wasn't playing a lot and then went to the conference tournament and played really well for us. So I know Hayden's always ready. He's awesome to coach too. All these guys are great to coach, but I have a lot of fun coaching those guys, and I couldn't be more proud of both of them.
All right, the Vikings this Thursday night will play the University of Montana. Montana comes in with a 13-6 record. It's actually the best overall record in the Big Sky, 4-2, tied for third place. But probably most importantly, the hottest team in the league right now. They've won 11 of their last 13 games, Coach. So my question to you would be, when you face a hot team, a really hot team like Montana, what are some of the things you do to a team in general, maybe to slow them down and get them out of their rhythm?
Well, I think it's like you said it. It's like what other teams did to us when we were on our streak too. So we just need to focus on us and be a collective group and overcome the adversity that we have going on. Obviously, we know Montana's a really good team. I mean, you just said it; they've won 11 of the last 13, and Coach DeCure is one of the best coaches in the league every single year. So we know we got our work cut out for us. They got a really talented team. They're playing really well together right now, and nothing but respect for them and their program. But we got to show up on Thursday night.
And I know you've really kind of hung your hat on defense as a coach in your 3 seasons, certainly this year as well. Montana, one of the best offensive teams, 79 points a game. I think they're the best shooting team in the conference. I know they're the best free throw shooting team in the conference. That's something you got to be careful about in terms of foul trouble. Ainan Moody, great outside shooter. You have to throw their offensive rhythm off to have a shot at them, right?
Yeah, no doubt. I mean, they got really talented players. I mean, Moody is obviously a really good player. He's an all-conference level player. And they got other guys that are very experienced and back off that team that have been there for several years. So, they know how to play together. They've played, they got experience together, and they're a great team. So it'll be a fun matchup.
All right, Saturday night and actually Saturday afternoon, it's a 4 p.m. game. We remind you that all Saturday games this year at 4 p.m. The Vikings take on Montana State. They are 9-10, but also 4-2 in the Big Sky. We know that's the most important thing. Tied for 3rd place. And the most notable thing about Montana State, new coach, a lot of new players, totally different look from them. What do you see from them, and how's the challenge of preparing for a new group?
Yeah, I mean, Coach Logie's come in and done a really good job. One of my great friends, Zach Payne, is one of the assistant coaches there. So I watch a lot of Montana State games. And they've been doing a good job. I mean, they got a lot of new guys, but they also have some guys back from, the championship team the last 2 years. So, same deal. I mean, they got a lot of talent, and they're going to battle every single night, and we know it's going to be a good test for us. And we got to protect our home court.
All right, the other notable thing about Saturday night, it is Strict City night when we honor the legacy of former Viking Deontay Strickland. And, Coach, I know that's always close to your heart, so I'll just let you say a few words about that night that we now have every season.
Yeah, it's always a special night. Strick did a lot of things for Portland State and the Portland basketball community, really. So we'd love to see everybody come out and honor him. We love doing the game every single year. One of my goals as the head coach is to make sure that his legacy lives on forever. So it'll be a special night. I had mentioned Zach Payne. Zach coached him, Strick senior year here. So it's great that he'll be able to be a part of this too. We're really excited for that night. And it's always an emotional night, and it's just emotional to think about all the time. But we want to make sure that his legacy lives on here forever.
All right, the Vikings ready to get back on a roll. They want to do it right here in Viking Pavilion, 4 in a row at home. Come out and see the Vikings here in the next few weeks. Thursday night against Montana, Saturday against Montana State. Viking basketball. For all your information on Vikings basketball, go to govikes.com.